Wall of Daydreaming, Man's Inhumanity to Man, serves as an artistic, political, and social statement that speaks to the community in varying ways. Located in the Chicago community area of Douglas, in the neighborhood of Bronzeville, this mural has come to represent the struggles of urban life. The Green Line L train runs through the neighborhood, and the mural can be seen from its 47th Street stop.
The exact location of the mural is on the corner of 47th Street and Calumet Avenue. It is located on the side of the store called City Sport. Also neighboring the mural are beauty supply, cell phone, and various clothing stores.
While there was community help with this mural, there were three main artists involved in its creation. Next is Mitchell Caton. He was born Theodore Mitchell Caton in Hot Springs, Arkansas, but was raised in Chicago. Soon after graduating from high school, Caton was commissioned to paint a portrait of then-Governor Sidney McMath. Because of his work, he received a scholarship to the University of Little Rock to study art. He also studied at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the Art Students League in New York. In 1970, he joined the Chicago Mural Group. Some of Caton's other work includes Builders of the Cultural Present, Bright Moments, Memories of the Future, Another Time's Voice Remembers My Passion's Humanity, and Wall of Respect. Caton passed away in 1998.
Bill Walker is the third artist. He was born in 1927 in Birmingham, Alabama, but grew up in Chicago. He served in the United States Air Force and eventually returned to Chicago in 1955, where he worked as a decorative painter for interior design companies. He then attended the Columbus Gallery of Art, as well as co-founded the Chicago Public Art Group. Some of Walker's other works include All of Mankind, Children of Goodwill, Justice Speaks, Tribute to Harold Washington, History of the Packing House Worker, Peace and Salvation, The Wall of Understanding, and Wall of Respect. He currently resides in Chicago's South Side.
Reverend C. Sidha Sila is a minister, poet, performer, arts educator, and muralist. Sidha got his start in the mural scene for his contribution to Wall of Daydreaming, Man's Inhumanity to Man. He lettered both sets of text. More recently, he has created community murals with the sponsorship of CPAG, which he is a current member of. The artist felt that 47th and Calumet served as a focal point for the South Side Chicago community and were also excited about the mural. As Mitchell Caton wrote in a follow-up report, quote, "I felt the theme of the wall should reflect the lifestyle and values of the people in the community. A warning to all the pushers and users, chippies and chasers, that using drugs is a quick death and no mistake about it. From the beginning, it was understood that Bill Walker was going to do this part of the mural. Bill's theme on the wall was to be political and my theme social," end quote.
Caton spent 3 weeks preparing the wall by wire brushing, scraping, and rolling on primer and sealer paint. Although we could not find the exact medium used, we can assume based on other murals that it was most likely acrylic. Man's Inhumanity to Man was a somewhat controversial mural because of its strong political and social statements. However, Dorothy Elliott, the store owner whose wall the mural was placed on, was excited, along with the community at large. Youths from the local Urban Progress Center were sent to help with the mural.
The mural site, while it was being worked on, was an area of controversy and a true representation of what the mural was all about. According to Caton, quote, 47th and Calumet was $1 million corner. The sick, spiritually crushed men and women weaved through the traffic and hungry streets past the scaffolding. They wailed their pain to me. Ideas of what to paint were everywhere. The Mecca of the South Side, 47th and Calumet, was a perfect place for a mural painting. Officer Simpson said to me when I started the wall to expect trouble, and trouble came every day. Someone was getting arrested under the scaffold every week. The artist has an obligation to express his or her times, open up social ills, and express people's needs, community grievances, lay out the future for the naked eye to see or not to see," end quote.
The mural was funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. In 1974, $30,000 was given to various artists in Chicago, these including Bill Walker and Mitchell Caton. This money was used to fund Wall of Daydreaming, Man's Inhumanity to Man. The mural was completed in 1975. In 2003, a restoration was completed by Damon Lamar Reed and Moses X. Ball.
No, I grew up in this community. We live further south. Yeah, I was born when this was first put up. I'm not sure. The artists, there's a lot of different artists in the time who paint a lot of these murals all over the city. I'm not sure if Sid Ha, if he was the one who painted it, or he helped. It may have been a few people who actually did the mural. But it's a style as artist, Caton. He did a lot of work around the city. There's a lot of them who did a lot of these murals. There's only a few of them left. I just think the artistic is really, it's got a mixture of like psychedelic and then a lot of different things. Just showing what the times were going on in the 70s, what was happening, the Black Power movement, different things with the drugs in the community, and different things that was happening in the 70s. That was happening all over the different ghettos in America.
As you can see the hair on, you have a person who is inside of it that looks like a child. And, it just depicted just everything that you might have seen as someone, as a child that walked through here, that might have seen.
It just shows how prior hand, black people had to worry about the Klan, but in this time period, a lot of the violence was black on black violence, a lot of police violence. Most of the stuff is in this time. We've never seen the Klan over here, but a lot
this
of
was the Klan.
Right, exactly.
This
the drugs, police brutality, black on black crime, a lot of those things is what a lot of this mural just depicts. What was going on in those times. It's still going on today.
And it takes you through stages. You have, like, the very beginning, like over here, you have the Ku Klux Klan, and it moves through different stages, as you can see. Like, this is, like, depicted from, this is a real famous stage from, like, the 1930s. As you can see, you have the heroin spoon, and then over here, as the drugs just kind of take over, like from pills to different stages. And then you have the lovely poem on the side of it. And hopefully to bring it up out of it. And you go further down, it just really depicts the times.
I think it's overlooked. I think a lot of people just walk right by it. They don't really recognize it. Just a lot of things, it just shows a lot of things people don't recognize that's right in front of our faces that are right there. Like a lot of these things, like a lot of times the drugs and different things, people don't really see them or they overlook them.
I mean, it's definitely well preserved because it's been around for a while. It's some respect to it because there's a lot of it.
Years.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of respect for it. Because it's one that hasn't been really tainted. No one has drawn over it. There's no gang taggings at the end of it. Where a lot of murals that you can definitely see evidence of that, but especially during these times, I mean, it's held its presence with it.
As we finished up our interview with Malik and his family, we were immediately approached by two young African-American men, Angelo and Marcus, both 19 years old. Since they approached us, we asked them if they had any interest in being interviewed about the mural. Angelo responded with a, quote, "Yeah, we came over here to see what you two were doing. Do you hang out on this block a lot?" End quote. When asked to be filmed, they both very quickly and adamantly refused. Angelo also gave us a warning that we, quote, "may not want to hear his thoughts on the mural," end quote, but we encouraged him to express his opinion.
Along with the family we had talked to, he believed that the majority of the community does not notice the mural. As he leaned against a parked car, he pointed at the part of the mural that depicts handcuffs and people falling below them. He then stated, quote, "That's the part of the mural that I look at. It represents our life and how it is out here. Black people falling further and further down in society, and jail being a big problem," end quote. He ended in saying that, quote, "That's what I look at every time I look at this mural," end quote. Bronzeville is one of several neighborhoods located in Douglas, a recognized Chicago community area. Douglas stretches from 26th State South to Pershing Road along the lake shore. Neighboring communities to Douglas are Oakland and Grand Boulevard to the south, Chinatown and Bridgeport to the west, and Near South Side to the north. Bronzeville's boundaries are considered to be 31st and the McCormick Place on the north, Cottage Grove Boulevard to the east, 65th Street to the south, and 190, 194 to the west.
These are the current demographics as of 2000. The total population is 26,470.
Bronzeville is 86% African American, approximately 7% Caucasian, and about 1% Latino.
The median income is $27,800, but 30.2% of households make less than $10,000 a year.
The average age is 30 years old.
Education levels vary. About 20% of the neighborhood's population has some high school, but no diploma.
Approximately 19% have a high school diploma or the equivalent. About 22% have attended some college but have no degree.
Only 19% of the community has either an associate's or bachelor's degree.
There have only been slight demographic changes.
The total population of the neighborhood has gone down by 17,235, a very significant amount, but the African American population is just as prevalent.
Numbers in the Latino population have gone down by 0.7%. Overall, levels of education have decreased compared to the statistics taken in 2000.
When the mural was completed in the mid-1970s, 30% of community members had completed 4 years of college. A noteworthy issue of the past is the former presence of the Robert Taylor housing projects. The Robert Taylor homes were notorious for drug use, gang prevalence, violence, and poverty. A lot of these issues are discussed in our reading Gang Leader for a Day, and all of these issues that the Robert Taylor homes represent are illustrated in the mural and heard through the community's interviews, which Angelo in particular expressed. To him, the mural represented a grim future that was very real to him and his neighbors. We wish he would have allowed us to videotape his interview. When he initially approached us, he had a very playful attitude. As he looked at the handcuffs and outlines of people falling on the wall, his demeanor completely changed and he became very serious.
In more present times, new housing has been an issue. New homes are being built literally down the block from this mural. These homes are intended for middle-class owners to move into. The mural has been an issue as it depicts many dark issues such as drug abuse, violence between races, gangs, prostitution, and assassinations. Some fear that it'll be unattractive to the type of demographic that would be moving into these homes. The possibility of Chicago hosting the 2016 Olympic Games is becoming a hot topic in Bronzeville. A proposed site for the athlete housing and stadiums is located in the community area. If athlete housing is built in the South Side, thousands of South Side residents will be displaced from their homes, and in place of their homes, new apartments and townhouses would be built, and far out of the average South Sider's price range. This would not allow the residents to return to their homes after the games have ended. The entire South Side would undergo a gentrification process. Currently, community activists are demanding that the City of Chicago create a legally binding agreement that their South Side homes and jobs will not be displaced by development for the Olympic Games.